Today I will explain you about single inheritance in Java using Visual Studio Code. So first we'll see what is single inheritance, then I'll show you the demonstration using VS Code. So what is single inheritance? Single inheritance is the process of acquiring the properties and methods from one superclass to one subclass. So in the previous video I was showing what is inheritance and what types of inheritance are there. Now here acquiring the properties from superclass, that is one superclass to only one subclass, then it is called as single inheritance. Now by seeing this diagram you can understand there is a class A which is superclass, class B is a subclass. Now class B is deriving the properties from class A. So in Java we use a keyword called extends in order to derive the properties from superclass to subclass. So here one superclass and only one subclass. So when you have like this situation, then we say that you are trying to perform a single inheritance application. Now what is the syntax of single inheritance when you write in coding? So we write a class keyword to declare a class followed by the superclass name we are going to write. So in the previous diagram it was capital A, that is becoming a superclass name. Then you write the methods as well as the instance variables of the superclass. Then you come to the subclass, and the subclass should also be declared with the class keyword. So subclass name, and here we need to use a keyword called extends. The extends keyword is used for inheritance. So first you need to write subclass name, then you write extends keyword, then you write the superclass name. Now this superclass name and this one need to be same. Okay. Now here you can write the additional properties like additional instance variables and additional methods into the subclass. So this is syntax how you are going to write in a programming. Now I'll show the demonstration of the single inheritance using VS Code. So you need to have a Visual Studio Code software. So just type Visual Studio in the search bar. Then if software is available, you are going to get this environment. Now here I'm creating one folder in order to store these files. So here we have an option like a new folder. Type here Java VS8, then press enter. Now inside this we'll create one file. So I just write like single inherit demo .java. Now here you can write like class A followed by, here I'm trying to write a method void show, and now in this I'll write system.out.println show method of class A. Okay, then I close this, then I write second class B extends the superclass called A. Then here I'll write void display then here I'll write system.out.println display method of class B. Okay, so display method is for B and show method is for A, right? Now one method is in A and one method is in B, but B can access this way A also, this show method also, because B is extending A. Now we need to write the main class. You write class single, the main class and file name you try to keep the same, demo1 single inherit demo1. Now Here you need to write main method, public static void main, string arguments. Now here you need to understand one point, that we need to create an object of subclass. Don't create the object of superclass, because the concept of inheritance is subclass object need to call the superclass instance variables and methods, as well as its own instance variables and methods. So here you can see I'm creating an object of B. Class B is what? A subclass. This one. Class B is a subclass. A is superclass. So we need to create the object of subclass like B object equal to new constructor. Now once you do this, then you write obj.show method. So this one will be called. Then again obj display method. This one will be called. Now here you need to understand, like obj is an object of class B, not A. But still, since inheritance is going on, we can access the superclass methods and instance variables by subclass object. Now that is a specialty here. Subclass can access superclass features. So subclass object can call superclass instance variables and methods along with its own instance variables and methods. Okay, so actually the show method is from class A, but still the subclass object is able to call. So just save this file and run and check. Are we getting the output like show method of class A and display method of class B? Just run it. Now can you see here, show method of class A and display method of class B has been displayed. Now one more program I will try to explain. Again you create a file. Just go for this new file option. Here I will write single inherit demo2.java. Okay. Right. Before going for that, I'll take a superclass called person. And here I'm taking one string name and integer age. Okay. Then I'm taking a constructor. I'm taking a constructor like public person string name and int age, because I want to give some initial values. So here you can see the instance variables are this name and age. The formal parameters are name and age, both are same. Name, name, and name, age and age. So here there is a confusion for the compiler, that either this one is an instance variable or these two are the instance variables. So in order to remove that confusion, you need to prefix this keyword for the left hand side. Okay, these two are called as instance variables. Right hand side are called as formal parameters of a constructor. So otherwise what you can do, you don't want to write the same names, you just write like this. There should be some difference. So when you write like this is not required. Directly you can write like this. Okay, but don't change this age, right? Now then I want to display that, so I'll write public void display info. Display info. Okay. Now I want to print what? I want to print the name and I want to print the age. Okay. Now this is the class of person where two variables have been taken. Then we have taken one constructor with two parameters and we have initialized the name and age. Then we are trying to print. I want to take a subclass, class student extends the superclass called person. Okay. Now here we are taking int roll number. one additional instance variable. Then I'm taking one constructor where I'm taking three parameters. One is name, age, and roll number. This name and age need to be sent to this constructor, name and age. Okay, so now here you can see super of name and age. So whatever the values you're passing for the subclass constructor, like suppose xyz, age is 20 and roll number is 101. So this xyz and 20 will be passed to the super class. So this is nothing but super method with two parameters. So these two values are being sent to this name and age, and those are assigned to the name and age for the superclass variables. That's why we have a super method. But this roll number is being defined in student class only. So you need to write like this. Since roll number here and here is same, we can prefix this keyword. Okay, so this roll number is not been defined in the superclass. It has been defined in subclass. So we need to write externally. Now I want to display public void display student info. Now here, whenever I'm printing student info, I want his name, age, as well as the roll number to be printed. So I have a method already called display info in the superclass. I'm calling that. Then I need to print like system dot out dot println of what I want to print. I need to print the roll number, right? So I'll put in double quotes roll number. Okay, and you write this one. So here when you're calling this display info, you're going for the superclass and printing the name and age, and come back and print this roll number of the student, because the roll number is the subclass instance variable. So I need to write externally. Okay, when you call this one, it has been called from the superclass. So name and age is displayed followed by the roll number. So this is for the subclass, and here you can observe that extends keyword for inheritance. So person is superclass and student is subclass. Now I need to create an main class. So that main class is single inherit demo2. Now here public static void main string arguments. Now here these are object creation of subclass student s equal to new student. Now you have a constructor with three parameters, right? So we are writing first value, then second value, and third value. First, second, and third value we are writing. Now what happens when you write like this? So this is nothing but calling of the constructor with three parameters, this one. Now here it goes to the subclass first. So here it is going to store the first value called John, then its age and roll number. Now this John and age, whatever is there, that will be passed with the super method. Now these two will go here to the name and a. So name John is assigned here and age is assigned to the age variable. Then it comes back, okay, and initializes this roll number separately. Okay, so like that the control flows. Now once it is over, what you are calling, see, this is subclass object. Student is a subclass, no? Subclass object dot display student info method you are calling. So display student information is in the subclass only, that is student class. Then inside that, what you are doing, you need to understand. This is a subclass method, okay, fine. But internally you are calling the superclass method and your own variable declaration, that is the output. So everything is been done by the subclass object, but internally we are calling the superclass method. Okay, just check out. There's an error. So again I will save it, save and run. Now here you can see the output. So whatever you are given, the name, the age, and the roll number. So already we have these three values we are giving at the time of calling the constructor. I'll show you here. Now this is called as a calling of the constructor. So John 18 and 1 2 3 4 5. So if I execute once again, so don't select and execute. Normally you just save and execute, you get the output. Now here you can see this one. So one thing you need to remember that whenever you talk about single inheritance, only one superclass and one subclass need to be there. And through subclass object only, we need to call superclass methods and instance variables. Okay. So this is the concept of single inheritance, where one superclass and one subclass concept. I hope I've given some input on the single inheritance. So if you like this video, please share and subscribe. Thank you.